Hello and welcome back. The Trump administration is working to crack down on fraud across the federal government. Hallelujah. And the Small Business Administration just made a shocking new discovery. Connor Hansen is live on Capitol Hill with all the details. Connor.
Hi, Kennedy. The Small Business Administration is making its largest debt referral in the agency's history, and it's blaming the Biden administration for not getting to this sooner. Taking a look at some of these numbers here, the SBA has now referred 562,000 suspected fraudulent loans to the Treasury Department. The borrowers involved are tied to more than $22 billion in delinquent loans through the Paycheck Protection Program and the COVID economic injury disaster loans, you remember, back during the pandemic. The agency says these loans were flagged for suspected fraud during the Biden administration, but were never referred to Treasury for collection or to the DOJ for investigation. SBA Administrator Kelly Loeffler says for years the Biden administration shielded these borrowers from debt collectors as part of a de facto amnesty scheme, but today they will finally face accountability. She calls fraud prevention a top priority.
From day one, we stopped criminal illegal aliens from accessing SBA loans, and then we put citizenship requirements and birth date requirements on the SBA loan applications. That had never been done, and now we've blocked foreign nationals from receiving SBA loans.
The Trump administration's fraud task force has been working on ways to claw back billions in taxpayer dollars. The Justice Department has announced a $300 million grant to fund the fight against fraud across the country. It also published a list of people charged or convicted of fraud, adding up to millions of dollars over the past month. Now, the Small Business Administration loans we're talking about here, hundreds of thousands of them, they say less than 1,000 of them had already been looked into by the Inspector General's office. Kennedy.
Thank you, Connor. You look like a young Tony Hawk in a suit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Brenberg, let's discuss one of the most unsurprising news stories to come out of the pandemic. It's that these easy-to-get loans were magnets for fraud.
I think I might have had the same reaction as Murphy, because he said there were 562,000 fraudulent loans. And I'm like, how are there even 562,000 loans? Like, how many loans were made if that many were fraudulent? And then they said how many were being investigated prior to, like 1,000 of them? I mean, if you're not persuaded that people, I'm just going to say people on the left, but maybe it's more than that. If you're not persuaded that they see laxity and fraud as like actual features and not bugs of this thing, can this please persuade you of this? What is the deal at sports games? They put the T-shirt and the gun.
The T-shirt cannon, absolutely.
They're just like, loans from the federal government are like T-shirt cannons.
I have a bone to pick with you, though.
Okay,
do you have a problem with how many loans the SBA is making?
I think I do.
So yeah, I'll take the other side of that.
You want the federal government allocating capital?
My dad has taken many loans from the SBA, and they have been much more willing to work with him than sometimes the big banks. Like JP Morgan won't lend to him. Well, we don't like you or whatever, right? But so the SBA has been instrumental in this PPP program. I mean, my dad has said, like, bankruptcy without that.
You know,
like in the middle of COVID, like when they shut down
for legitimate
your
companies,
business.
that's absolutely right. But this is not what we're talking about.
Well, it's not a critique of those who've taken them, okay? I'm not critiquing the company that's taken them. I'm critiquing the fact that the government has moved into that space so significantly that I think it's had an effect on who else.
That big banks and other people won't lend, and so that small businesses have to go to the SBA for loans.
It's getting a little spicy in here, Mike.
Yes, I think a lot of the programs that start out good intentioned end up the place where fraud can kind of grow, and then you turn into this massive 562,000 fraudulent loans. So I think the idea on the surface for people who are legitimately need the money, small businesses, great. But this should be a bipartisan issue for government, that fraud is bad. Regardless of who you vote for, fraud is bad. It's hurting you, it's hurting me, it's hurting everybody. So hopefully we get there, because if we cut down on fraud, talking about our debt, that's going to have an impact on all of us for the better. So I don't know how exactly you do it, but it seems like they're tackling it now.
I'm marking you down for anti-fraud. Thank you, Mike. But Dagan, this was panic lending. This was the federal government in a very desperate measure trying to send out as much as they could, which actually created the inflationary environment that hurt so many people in the wake of the pandemic.
But they shut the businesses down, and then they weren't going to
Who's they? The same people who gave the loans.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I'm referring to what you said earlier in the show, which we cannot repeat.
Don't have the government shut down over
That's a
COVID. That was
circle
our
smirk,
first
Brian.
mistake. But if you are going to shut them down, you can't not give businesses loans.
Well, let's hear what Dagan has to say.
Well, let's remind people that was the Trump administration.
Yeah.
This was all of this
2 weeks
happened
to stop the spread.
during COVID, and they were not vetting any of these loans. This was the EIDL SBA loans, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. They were handing out money to con artists. All you had to do was be down in Miami and see all of the Lambos that this
Exactly right.
thievery purchased. Actually, they didn't really buy them; they just got leases on them. And so John Gotti's grandson was just hit with a prison sentence for the EIDL COVID federal multi-million-dollar fraud scheme, stealing from the SBA. He got 15 months. He should have gotten 3 years because he said he's donating a kidney to his mom. You know what? They can take your kidney out in federal prison. He didn't need, again, if he's been convicted, throw the book at him. Serve the whole quarter.
Yeah, unfortunately, they
3
replaced
years.
the kidney with the veggie loaf.
But we were being critical of the Biden administration, but it was August of 2022 that the Biden administration had to extend the statute of limitations for prosecution of the Paycheck Protection and EIDL fraud from 5 to 10 years. So they still have time to hunt these crooks down.
Administration limitation castration is what happened. All right. Coming up, it's getting more affordable to rent in America. That's exciting. Get a tent.